All right. Do you really need health insurance if you're in your 20s or your 30s? The answer to that is really it's going to depend. I want to share my screen here. It's my first time doing this live stream. Share screen. Choose what to share with your students. Entire screen. Screen one. No, I'll share my voice. Okay. All right. There's a website called healthsherpa.com. Anybody can use it. So, health insurance premiums are based on 4 factors: your age, the zip code you live in, your smoker status, and your household income. If you got pre-existing conditions like diabetes, you see a specialist every 3 months, then you would want to go the ACA route. There's also the non-ACA route. That's only if you are on the healthier side. So the question is, you're in your 20s and your 30s. Do you really need health insurance? No, you don't. You don't need health insurance. You can get by. You can ask for the self-pay rate route. When it comes to the small things in life, like your annual preventative wellness visits, like a blood work or a cholesterol screening, you could just pay out of pocket for that. You don't need to pay $300 to $800 a month on health insurance. Labs, like cholesterol screenings, that could be like $300 a pop for that once a year type of situation. If you have prescriptions, you can get by with a website called goodrx.com. Just download it on your smartphone. You could be your own drug dealer. So let's say you are taking Lexapro, prescription savings, go prescription savings. Type in Lexapro. Or let's say metformin. 500 milligrams for 60 tablets. It's not fun going every 2 months. Try to go like every 3 months. Let's say in the state of Illinois, you have the zip code of 60491. This is how much metformin can cost. It can be as low as $0. Just ask your doctor's office to send the script over to your local Jewel or your Meijer. And this is what you'll pay. Costco kind of sucks at $23. So you don't need health insurance when it comes to the small things in life in your 20s and 30s. But if shit happens, like a car accident, slip and fall, you got hit in the eyeballs with a pickleball, and your accident takes you to an emergency room or an urgent care room, that's when medical bills start picking up. So if you ever ask Claude how much, let's say, new chat, how much can it cost to go to the emergency room in the state of Illinois, in the Chicagoland area, if you got hit in the face with a pickleball and you can't see out of your left eye? Just use AI to ask. $3K to $15K. So it's not just going to be like $200. It could be a lot more. That's when you'll probably need health insurance, when the big stuff happens. If you have a family history on your mom or dad's side of heart disease, stroke, or cancer, that's when health insurance can be a benefit to you in your 20s or 30s. Ask your parents or your grandparents when they got diagnosed with their pre-existing conditions. And that should be a factor as to whether or not you think you should start buying health insurance in your 20s or 30s. If you're under the age of 26, you're still on mommy and daddy's group health insurance plan, probably. But once you turn 26, your ass is getting kicked out. So, health and care. So let's say 60491. That's Crook County. Let's say Will County. You don't have any kids, no mortgage, no financial obligations, and you're making like, let's say 75K. And let's say you're 27 years of age. You're a guy. Cheapest plan is going to be about $259. If you're a girl, still around $259. Out of all these network possibilities, the one thing you got to understand is that doctors, surgeons, lab facilities, hospitals are attracted to patients that have PPOs just because they get paid better when they see the words PPO stamped. So you'll observe that out of all these health insurance companies being offered in the zip code of 60491, only Blue Cross Blue Shield offers PPOs. That should indicate that they have the most money to pay off medical claims. If you select United Healthcare, there's going to be no option for PPOs for United Healthcare. There's just too many claims being filed versus premiums collected. So Blue Cross Blue Shield, cheapest plan is $479 a month, $8,600 deductible. So for the big stuff, like an accident or major illness, your first case exposure, your first line of exposure is going to be $8,600. That's going to blow balls because that's a lot of money for a catastrophic situation. So just so you're sure, just so you know, $10,600 is your actual out-of-pocket max. That's the be-all and end-all. Once you reach your $8,600 deductible, you still have to reach another $2,000 until you meet the $10,600. But once you reach your $8,600 deductible, that's when insurance starts paying 50%, and then you pay the other 50% for like a doctor visit or specialist visit. This one's a little bit more expensive because it's got a copay. Having a copay of like $20 or $45, or let's say $100 copay, it's actually a luxury these days because a PCP is a doctor that went to medical school for X amount of years. So they'll charge typically anywhere from $200 to $300 for their consultative advice. A specialist is a medical student that went to medical school longer. So therefore they have more debt, school loan debt, and they're going to charge more, anywhere from $300 to $800 for a specialist visit. And for this particular plan, you pay $100 copay. It sounds a lot, but without health insurance, a specialist will charge anywhere from $300 to $800 or even more. So the question is, do you really need health insurance in your 20s and 30s? No, not at all. But if you're the type of person that plays pickleball, drives a lot for work, you're an outside salesperson and you sell solar systems or roofing, and you think that you're at a higher risk type of environment, maybe having health insurance will be a good idea because you could get in a car accident or you could get hit in the face with a pickleball. But buying health insurance and thinking that it's going to pay for everything, like for the small things in life, that is wishful thinking. It's not really going to happen. You're going to be super disappointed knowing that you're paying like $513 a month. And if you got a boo-boo and you want to go see an urgent care visit, like for example, this $513 a month plan, urgent care is $75. Emergency room, full price. So an emergency room visit could be about $5,000 or more. You will have to reach your deductible of $7,500 first before this particular health insurance plan is going to pay for anything. And that's at $513 a month. So that's going to suck. $513 a month. That's if you are going into the Obamacare market, also known as the Affordable Care Act or ACA market. There's another market. It's called Workers Association Group Market. And if you are, let's say, 26 years old, and you want a strong PPO, say 27-year-old, because the other one was based off of a 27-year-old, right? Yeah, 27-year-old, state of, let's say, Illinois. I'm licensed in 20 states, but for today's sample, we're going to do state of Illinois. Pricing for this sucker is going to be view costs $267 for a $1,500 deductible. Compare that to an $8,600 deductible for a PPO at $478. This is a $1,500 deductible. $1,500 deductible. It does have a max out of pocket of $10,600, which is similar to this. $10,600 is the 2026 calendar year's average out of pocket max. Once you meet your deductible of $1,500, then you can just pay $50 copay for PCP specialist visit if you need it. But again, the topic of this video is, do you need health insurance if you're in 20s and 30s? It really depends on how risky you are when it comes to your day-to-day lifestyle. If you pretty much stay at home and watch Netflix and have an online job at home, you might not need it. But if you are always out and about, working out, you play pickleball, maybe having health insurance that'll protect you from the big stuff would be a noteworthy idea. If you got questions on this, you can shoot me a DM or send me an email. My email is going to be the Real Health Insurance Mark. Wait. Yeah, the Real Health Insurance Mark at gmail.com is my email if you have questions regarding this subject matter. I will talk to you on the next one. Thanks. This is my first live, and it probably sucks. How do I end the stream? Oh, there it is.